child in a day secondary school. So if you are going to give so much money to a child in a day secondary school, some of that money may end up in your own pocket. So we are going to advise that you give scholarship to only children who are going to boarding schools. Because the only thing that the day scholars require is school uniform and lunch money. And me, I skipped many lunches, but do I look like I didn't have those lunches? It doesn't matter. Subsidy and school are, the government continues to support secondary education. This financial year alone, we have got 62 billion Kenya shillings, which has been disbursed on time in the future. In this regard, I wish to point out that the government provides 22,400 to cover tuition and related expenses for all public secondary schools. This also has money that should be used for maintenance and expansion of infrastructure. And I'm very glad, as I have been going around the country and being shown, oh, these are the buildings which we are doing with this money that the government gives. So quite a large number of teachers are doing a good job with the money, but there are a few who are not doing so, and mine is to urge them to ensure. My officers in the field, together with the Teacher Service Commission, don't have teeth when you are doing this. Just check if something is not wrong, then it is not wrong, and don't settle it out of court. Bring in the police and arrest the people, because this is taxpayers' money, which is meant to improve the conditions under which our children are learning. All principals and boards of management are required to ensure that these funds are used for intended purposes only. This will enable us to further attain 100% transition. As with the last year, the ministry will mount a nationwide monitoring exercise to ensure that Form 1 students join schools of their choice from where they were selected. But I want to pause here once again. Let us stop being the Kenyans we are, where there are 5 schools of females and 5 of males, and everybody wants to go to the top of the pyramid. It is not wise. We have big brains. The teachers are teachers. And I hope as soon as I finish this, people should not bother me with phone calls. Because for me, I think we have done justice, and the team that stood there has done justice. A deserving child from Kiandutu in Thika, so that I put your son or daughter there, and yet you have enough money, you have 5 cars in your house, that one is not going to happen. Are we together? So I don't want to be remembered for having helped so many of my colleagues whose children perhaps were even in the best private schools, and now, instead of allowing Kamau and Njoroge from Kibagare or any other slum, you want me to age that one out. And once I age that one out, you know what's going to happen. But you can take your child anywhere you want. It's a matter of choice. So please let us respect ourselves. You might say I'm not talking like a politician. Of course I'm not one. And I don't need your votes. So I'm just telling you facts. So please don't flood my officers, don't flood us. We have done justice to the children, and every school is as good as the other. Parents, finally, and I'm glad they have been following, only pay the fees that we have asked you to pay. And I've asked the teachers, please, things have been difficult. The fact that we have been going on as normal, people have lost jobs because of COVID-19. So if somebody comes with half of the fees or 25% of the fees, take the child and arrange for the fees to be paid. Don't think if you can take 10 meals a day, there are some who can only have 1. Are we together here? And I want to thank those principals who have been very humane in the manner in which they handled the children last year, but also to castigate in equal measure the very few that used to send children home, some of whom even got accidents and nearly died because of a few shillings. Kenya government money in a Kenya government school by a Kenya government child. Wewe unafikiri unatoka wapi? Let us just do what we have to do. Even in my clinic, when I go back there, these fingers are not the same. There are people I treat free of charge. Do I look hungry to you? Those who have money pay for them. So it is not your job to be evil to our children. And we are going to monitor. And I would also encourage the chiefs also. Don't say chiefs should not come to school. They'll come to school and find out who is it that has not come, or who is it that you have been bold enough to send home. Are we together? Because the school is not yours. The school belongs to government. And management means you look at the weakest link first. So I'm hoping that when we open the schools, children will go to school. Hiyo mambo ya pesa mtaongea baadaye. But that's not also to encourage parents, because Kenyans are Kenyans. You have money to go to the Kanyanyaini men's bar and restaurant until 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you don't have money to pay for your child. Can we think about that as we move along? School fee infrastructure resources is the third one I want to talk about very quickly. In this financial year, the National Treasury has allocated for us 4.2 billion for infrastructure development in primary schools. I wish to inform you that this money was very well utilized, and you can see how fast we are with the CBC classrooms. Part of this money, by instruction from His Excellency the President, was converted to CBC classrooms, and I want to affirm once again that the quality of classrooms being built for the CBC are excellent. They are being built at the lowest price, which was done by His Excellency the President himself, from 1.26 million to 788,000. Therefore, I want to thank my field officers for having worked with us in built classrooms. They are very large classrooms. If you go to some of the private schools, you'll find their classrooms are smaller. The ones you are building are very large. They are excellent, and they are at 788,000. And that they must be branded. And since we are on GIS,